What's up, guys? Um, so this is going to be a really short video, and you'll understand why really quickly. We are deepening our understanding of triangles this week, as well as some other things. But today's lesson is just about interior angles. And the thing that you need to know about interior angles, and really all triangles, um, is that the sum of all of the angles inside of a triangle, if you were to take the measure of each angle inside of a triangle, it would equal 180 degrees. And you're only going to have three angles inside of a triangle because tri means three. So triangle, three angles. So the sum of the measurement of all those angles, or the sum of all of those angles, will always equal 180 degrees. So I'm going to go into this problem so we can kind of see what that looks like. And I'm going to do these examples for us. Okay. So here we need to find the measure of, oh, I'm sorry, that's example one. I'll get to that in a second. We need to find the measure of angle F. And we're going to enter our answer as a number only. But as you can see in this triangle, I have three angles, like I said. I have one angle that measures 120 degrees up here in the corner. I have another angle over here. It's an acute angle that measures 28 degrees. And then I have this other acute angle that just measures F degrees. And we need to figure out what the value of that F is. So to do that, I am going to go straight into, come on. I'm going to go straight into my whiteboard. Let me see. I don't know what happened. Okay. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick little illustration for you guys so that we're all on the same page about, like, you know, well, more so we're on the same page so that as I'm doing this example, you kind of have something to go off of, really more so than anything. So you're not like flipping back and forth. So here is my triangle, and much like on my example, I'm going to put that this one is 120 degrees. This one is 28 degrees. And this one is F degrees. Give me a second. I'm going to make this look really pretty in a minute. Everything is just going to kind of be where it needs to be. Boom. 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 All right. So remember what I said about these angles. The objective of the first question is to find the measure of F. So if you're thinking about this, the first thing you want to do is just set up an equation that helps you solve this as like easily as possible. So one thing I do know is that all three angles should total 180 degrees. So I'm going to say that 180 degrees is what I would get if I took 120, added it to 28, and then added it to F. And then I can combine like terms on this next line. So what I'm typing out is just my next flow of work. In my next flow of work, I'm going to combine like terms, which means I'm going to combine 120 and 28. That's going to give me 148. So now I have 148 plus F equals 180. Now, you guys know what we're going to do. You know where this is going from here. So first, I'm going to, well, not even first, I'm going to get F by itself by doing the inverse operations. The opposite of positive 148 is negative 148. So I'm going to subtract 148 on both sides of this equal sign to find my value of F. And when I do that, 180 minus 148 gives me 32. We can say that 32 equals F. The way that I can like always check this is by taking 32. I could basically do 32 plus 28 plus 120. And if this is correct, then I'll get a 180 as my answer. So I know that 32 plus 28 equals 60, and then 60 plus 120 equals 180. So that we know, so now we know that this is the right answer, that the value for F is 32. So you would type 32 um, in that box, and you would, go on to the next problem. Let's look at one more example, something that might be a little bit more complicated, so that we know like what we should be expecting to see. So if you need to like pause at this point, go ahead and pause. I'm gonna leave the work here so that you guys can like have something to go back to, or something that you need to just like reflect on for a little bit longer. So pause the video. I'm gonna pause mine, and come back in a couple of minutes with the next problem already set up. All right, cool. Okay, so here we go for example 2. We need to find the measure of angle S, or the angle that has S in it. Enter your answer as a number only. So again, remember what I told you. The first thing that you can do is set up an equation, because you know what all three of these angles are going to total to. All three of these angles are going to total to 180 degrees. So I'm going to start off by saying 180 degrees will be equal to me adding all of these angles inside of this triangle up together. So 180 degrees would be equal to me doing 61 plus, we know that this box is a right angle. It signifies a right angle, and right angles are 90 degrees. So I'm going to put 90. So 61 plus 90 plus, and then I'm going to put this entire thing here, 5s plus 4. And it doesn't necessarily need to be in parentheses because we're going to combine like terms anyway. So step 1 is to just simplify this number sentence by combining like terms. 61 plus 90 is 151. And then I'm just going to bring everything else down for a second. And this is just more so a habit that I've been like really wanting you guys to build upon, so that when you're doing math and algebra, if you were to make a mistake, it would be really easy for you to pick out the mistake, which is why I do it like this. And this is why I like really encourage you guys to do it like this too. So now I'm going to combine 151 and 4. So 151 plus 4 is 155. So it's 155 plus 5s equals 180. And now I can go through the motions of my inverse operations so that I can find the value for 5s. So I can find the value for s. So basically, I'm going to isolate the variable first by getting rid of my constant being 155. And I'm going to do that by subtracting 155. That's the opposite. So I'm just going to subtract 155 on both sides. And like we're really familiar with this in 7th grade, so I know that this isn't something that I have to like over explain to you guys in this moment. 180 minus 155 is 25. And now we have 5s. And then I'm going to, so 5s is the same as saying 5 times s. I'm just going to divide 5 on both sides. And when I divide 5 by both sides, 25 divided by 5 is 5. And so now I know that s equals 5. So we're not out of the woods quite yet, because we still have to take this 5 and plug it back into the 5s plus 4 so that we know what that angle is. Yeah, and so to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to do 5. We're going to first write 5s plus 4, and then we're going to plug in that value for 5. So that will be 5 times 5 plus 4. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 4 is 29. So we know that that last angle, the missing angle, is 29 degrees. Now there's some other ways that you could have gotten there. One way that somebody might have gotten there, and I'm going to like make a new area to work from, to just show that there are definitely multiple ways that you could get to the same correct answer. The first way that most people are probably going to think is, well, I know that I could just take 180 and I could subtract. You could first start off by saying 180 minus 90 because that right angle is 90. So 180 minus 90 equals 90. And then you could say 90 minus 61. And we know that 90 minus 61 would be 29. Yeah. And then we can make a shorter, smaller equation, and that smaller equation would be 5s plus 4 equals 29. Much like kind of what we, well, it's not quite like what we did for the first like run of this example, but this is another way that we can do it, is we know that all three of these angles are going to equal 180 degrees. So it's kind of taking out what we do know. We know that this one is 61. We know that this one is 90. Getting rid of that and saying, well, how many degrees are left? And then just like finding the value of that and then using that to find the value for S. So if we know that all three of these angles, I'm going to say this again slowly. We know that all three of these angles total 180 degrees. And right now, we know that one of these angles is 61 degrees. Another one of these angles is 90 degrees. So you could take that away from 180, and what you have left would be the value of 5s plus 4. So that's what we did over here. We took 180 and subtracted 90. And then we took that 90 that was left and subtracted 61. Then what we did that we got 29. Now, if we wanted to know what S is, we would take 29 and say that 29 is equal to 5s plus 4 because it is. And then we could solve for S that way. Either way, we would get the same answer no matter which way we did it. All right, 5s equals 25. And then, of course, I'm still going to divide by 5 on both sides. And then we still know that S equals 5. So, and I can see it. I know that some of you guys can't see that, so I'm going to move it up. So basically, these are the two ways that you can go about coming to those answers. I know I said this would be a short video, but this would be like a good example of me slowing down a bit so that you guys can really like understand, and I'm not just giving you more credit than you deserve. So hope that helps. Definitely slow down. Make sure that you're like paying attention. There should be a lot of perfect submissions with like 0 questions because you're really just doing subtraction or addition, some of that basic algebra. So if you take your time and you watch this video, there's no reason why you can't get a perfect score. And using a calculator to check your work is definitely encouraged. All right. With that being said, Godspeed, good luck, do great. All right.